Hi guys. Well, I was talking about my 1D experience on at X Factor this past week, and somebody asked me to upload a video, so I decided to wait till after my whole 1D weekend was over. So here it goes. Okay, it all started on Tuesday when I found out the boys were flying to LA. I'm not from LA. I live about an hour away from LA, so um I actually was iffy about going to the airport, but or even knowing what time I'm gonna get to the X Factor because I was so far. So luckily, my twin Bethany was so nice and allowed me to stay at her house. So literally, I spent the whole week chasing after those boys, and we failed countless times. Okay. Anyways, Tuesday we decided not to go to the airport because somebody leaked. They leaked where they were going to be, the time and everything. So there was basically no point of wasting our time to watch them get mobbed. So we went out to eat. It was all good and everything. So then the next day we woke up early, like 6 a.m. early. She woke up earlier than me, but I woke up at 6 a.m. so that we can get ready for 7 to be at the X Factor for 8. Okay? So we got to the X Factor at like 8 o'clock a.m. and we were sitting in line and we were talking with people, having a good time and stuff. And then we realized that the studio is super small. Like, disregard how it looks on TV. It probably only fits about like in the seats, like 50 people. And then in the pits, like 50 per pit. So there were like two pits, so it's like only 150 people could fit in that place. So we were like when they marked our ticket, we were number 73, 74. And so we were kind of nervous because sometimes they let priority people ahead of us, and we wanted to make sure that we were going to get in. So after that, we kind of just sat and chilled. We were in the line for about till like 2 something, from 8 to 2 something, and then they took us. Finally, they filed us in, and we all wanted pit because we were like, that's the way to get closer to the boys. So they had to like look at you, and if they wanted you in the pit, they would just send you to the pit way. If they thought you would be better for a seat, they would send you that way. And when they sent us to the pit, we were so excited. So we get to the lady at the pit area where she's filing in the people to sit in the holding area to the order she's gonna take you into the pit. And this lady, she sits us in the row that they take first. Yes, the row that they take first. So this was meaning, so we knew that we would be front row in the pit for One Direction. So after that, we figured that out, we were all freaking out. Then these girls that were sitting in the waiting area like farther back, they started screaming. So we're like, what are they screaming for? So we got up and we literally looked out, and there was Niall and Zayn, and they were right there, right by the holding area, right behind the holding area. So everybody started freaking out. So we devised a plan to go to the bathroom because we saw that the porta potties were right by where the boys were going, where their trailers were. So me and a girl that we had met and actually gave our one of our extra tickets to had we went to the bathroom, and as we were walking to the bathroom, like literally Liam, like we're walking like this one, and then Liam and his pack of people, there were 3 of them, Liam's in the middle, like literally cross paths with us. Like this is Liam and this is us walking towards him, and he's like there. I didn't even notice it was Liam until it was too late, so I felt kind of dumb because I was like, oh shoot, there's Liam. And then after we used the bathroom, well, I got out first, and the girl, I was waiting for her to come out of the bathroom. So I like come out, and I'm standing there trying not to turn my head because I know that the boys are behind me, and if I like look like a creeper, I didn't want to look like a creeper. So I actually turned around for a quick second and I saw Niall, and then I turned right back around because I was not having that. And so the girl that I was waiting for, I think her name was Dahlia, she came out of the bathroom, and then she was like all looking up in there, like, and I was like trying not to turn around because I was embarrassed, and I was embarrassed especially since I was standing at the porter potties. Not even just like, it just was embarrassing. The whole situation was embarrassing. So anyways, after I saw Niall, I kind of like fangirled in my head because I don't fangirl on the outside, especially when they're around. And so we went back, went through security again, sat in our seat, and then we heard more screaming. And then slowly but surely, everybody started having to go to the bathroom because when we went, it was only us two down there. So it was just us two and Liam and his friends. Then after that, after I actually went back to the bathroom again because I heard that people could see Harry, so I went down there, and literally there were like 100 girls in line for the bathroom, and nobody was really in line. Everybody was like facing the boys' trailers, and like me and these girls, we went up to the gate and we could see Harry, and he was hugging some guy. Like, he like went up to give him a handshake and he hugged him at the same time, and he like had a smile on his face so you could see his dimple, and that is where I fangirled in my head, loud in my head, of course, because like I'm a Harry girl, so everything Harry. Anyways, so after this, I did, like, the guy was like, is anybody in the line that actually needs to go to the bathroom? And everybody, I was like, why does it matter? Like, it doesn't even matter. We're just sitting there waiting to be filed in anyways. And then the lady who was supposed to file us in started getting pissed off because nobody was in their seats. So she was like, I'm about to start pulling people in. So we all ran back to where we were sitting. And then, like, 5 minutes later, she starts taking us in, and they file us in, and literally we were the first people in our pit. So we were in the front during Story of My Life. Anyways, we were in the front, but we weren't seen on camera because they didn't put it over there. Anyways, so we filed in there, and then people start pushing, and people start asking me if I can move back. And I'm like, no, because I was here all day, I've been waiting, just like you, why should I move back for you? I didn't say that, but I felt that. So, after waiting for all that time for the boys to come out, they finally come out, and they look like perfect little angels, like sex gods, like no other. And then, they started singing. Sounded beautiful, of course. They did Story of My Life. Then they took a break. So during this break, Liam and Zane and everybody is all smiling at the crowd and everything. Liam is the only one who actually approached us at the crowd. So he made me happy, okay, that day, because I have a bad experience with Liam before. So I was kind of salty towards him, but that day he really, really made me happy. So he literally, on the break, he walks straight up to me. Like, there are all these girls around me. He walks straight up to me and grabs my hand and looks me in the eyes. And then all these little girls started, like, pulling at his hand. So I let go. But, yeah, I felt a connection. Even though I'm not a Liam girl, I felt that connection. Anyways, after that, I remember waving and getting Zane's attention. And Zane, like, he gave the cutest little, like, weird, like, funny face smile, kind of. And I almost died right then and there because it was perfect. Literally, it was like, it was something like that. And it was just so cute. So, after that, they performed again, Story of My Life again, because they have to do it twice. And then they were done. So then they told us, then the announcer guy announced that they would come back later in the show to do another performance, a pre-taping for the finale. So they already taped their finale performance for next time already. So they did Midnight Memories. That was beautiful. So we're skipping past the X Factor live shows. We ended up having to file out so they can move off One Direction stuff off the stage. Then we had to file back in, and so I lost my front row spot. I ended up getting second row again, but it was fine. Then for the next performance, Midnight Memories. Oh my gosh, Harold. Harold Edward Styles. Okay, I don't know what he was on or anything, but he was he was all over the place. It was so beautiful. I was just like, oh my gosh, my baby. Anyways, he ends up, while he's performing, there are times he's bending over in the crowd and people are grabbing his butt. Then he like goes into the middle of the crowd and he like waves his like privates at us, and everybody's grabbing. I didn't grab because I wasn't close enough, but everybody was like grabbing. You know where they were grabbing. Anyways, and he's like laughing and he thinks this is funny. So they did that the first time, and then he at the break before they did Midnight Memories again, this fool gets water. He drinks like 2 sips of it and he pours it on us. Now, this is the second time this year that Harry Styles has poured water on me. Like, I don't know if people would consider that lucky or a sign of bad luck, because every time he just pours water on me and gets my whole shirt wet and everything. So, in the first performance of Midnight Memories, he didn't actually touch me because I was kind of far back. So the second time I was like, he's gonna touch me. So when the second time he came back around, I like stood on my tippy toes, and he walked by and he like both his hands grabbed my hand at the same time. So it's like boom, boom, and this is my hand. Say, this is my hand. So it's like boom, boom, as he's like going like in our section. So I was like, oh, yeah, I got two hand touches at the same time. None of the other boys really came to the crowd. Like Niall and Louis, they did go to the other side a little bit, but they didn't. Nobody was as outrageous as Harry and during Midnight Memories. So that is my story of X Factor. After the X Factor, we went looking for the boys. Stay tuned for the next video.